Hello everyone, welcome back to Helium Biology class number 3. We are continuing with our topic of monosaccharides, that is the carbohydrates, and in this video I am starting with the isomerism. The monosaccharides exhibit different kinds of isomerism, and today we are going to discuss about this one. This is the first video of our lecture series on isomerism in monosaccharides. Before understanding the isomerism, let's discuss about some common topics. These common topics will be used in learning the concepts for isomerism. First of all, what is asymmetric carbon or chiral carbon, or what is chirality? Well, we all know that carbon has got 4 valences. In a compound, if a carbon with its 4 valences occupied by different groups or atoms, then it is called as a asymmetrical carbon. For example, in this case there are 3 carbon, first one, second one and third one. In the first carbon, 2 valencies are fulfilled by oxygen, so this cannot be a chiral carbon. Talking about the third one, the 2 valencies are fulfilled by hydrogen, so again it is not a chiral carbon. But if you look carefully at the second carbon, that is this carbon, then this carbon on one side has an aldehyde group, hydrogen group, hydroxyl group and CH2OH. That means this carbon has got all its valences fulfilled by different groups. That means that this carbon is a chiral carbon. So this is the structure of glyceraldehyde. Say, before watching this video, go through our video on monosaccharides wherein we discussed about the structures of different monosaccharides. If you have seen that video, you must have known that this is glyceraldehyde. So in glyceraldehyde there is a single chiral carbon. Again, another example, this is the structure of glucose, that is C6H12O6. Now let's see how many chiral carbon glucose have. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. There are total 6 carbon. First carbon, 2 valences fulfilled by oxygen, so this is not a chiral carbon. Second one, aldehyde group, OH, H and a different group, that means the second one is a chiral carbon. Similarly, third one, chiral carbon. Fourth one is a chiral carbon. Fifth one is a chiral carbon. Sixth one is not a chiral carbon because 2 valencies are fulfilled by hydrogen. That means in glucose there are 4 chiral carbons. These are the 4 chiral carbons in glucose because all the valencies are fulfilled by different groups. So in glucose there are 4 chiral carbon. Let's take another example. Now this is dihydroxyacetone. Dihydroxyacetone, first carbon, 2 hydrogen, not a chiral carbon. Second carbon, 2 valencies fulfilled by oxygen, not a chiral carbon. Third carbon, 2 valencies fulfilled by hydrogen, not a chiral carbon. That means there are no chiral carbon in dihydroxyacetone, and you need to remember this concept because this is very important. Stereoisomerism is shown by those compounds that have got a chiral carbon, but dihydroxyacetone has got no chiral carbon, so it won't exhibit any type of stereoisomerism, and this is a very frequently asked question in exams. Now what is Fischer projection? Fischer projection is basically a 2-dimensional representation of monosaccharides. Now see, this is a Fischer projection of glucose. Now how to draw a Fischer projection? There are 2 basic rules. There are 2 basic rules for drawing a Fischer projection. First, all carbon should be placed in vertical position. See, these are the carbons. These are the carbons. There are total 6 carbons and all these carbons are placed in a vertical line. So try to align all these carbon in a vertical line, and the carbon with the functional group would always be placed at the top. The carbon with the functional group would always be placed at the top, and that would be considered as the first carbon. That's why we enumerate it as the first carbon, because it's on the top, and that's the rule of the Fischer projection. This is again glyceraldehyde, so all the carbon are placed in a vertical line plus the functional group as it is at the top, and this would be the first, second and third carbon. So these are some basic rules for drawing Fischer projections. Now following these concepts, now I will start with stereoisomers or spatial isomers. Now what does spatial isomers or stereoisomers mean? Now every monosaccharide has got a three-dimensional arrangement, a three-dimensional configuration of all its group. This is the structure of glucose. Now in this structure, see, these black balls are carbon. These black balls are carbon. These grey balls are hydrogen and these red balls are oxygen. If you look carefully, all these are arranged at some angles to each other. So this is how glucose is represented three-dimensionally. Now similarly, all monosaccharides have got such kind of three-dimensional arrangement of all its atoms. So what are stereoisomers? Stereoisomers are basically those compounds with the same chemical formula, but they have got a different kind of three-dimensional arrangement, a different kind of a three-dimensional configuration or the spatial arrangement of all its atoms. We all know the basic definition of isomer is those compounds that are having a same chemical formula but have got difference in the structure, and stereoisomers are those isomers which have got difference in the three-dimensional arrangement of its atoms. Let's see how. See, these are two basic monosaccharides, glucose and galactose. If you look at these Fischer projections carefully, you will find only a single difference between glucose and galactose, and that difference lies here. That is on carbon number 4. On carbon number 4, in the case of glucose, OH group is on the right side, but in the case of galactose, this OH group is on the left side. Then there is no other difference. Both have got the same chemical formula, C6H12O6, as both of them are hexose sugar. You look at all different carbons, you won't find any difference in the three-dimensional arrangement of any atom except at the carbon number 4. So this is an example of stereoisomer. Now stereoisomers are of two different types, the first and second. Now I'll tell you the names later on, but first I'll tell you the basic difference between these two different kinds of stereoisomers. Now first look at this case. In this case, see, these are two different forms of glucose. These are two different forms of glucose, two different types of arrangements of glucose. Now in this case, look at this carefully. This is the first carbon with CHO group. On the second carbon, look carefully, there is difference in the configuration of both H and OH. In this case, OH is on the right side, and in this case, OH is on the left side. Similarly, on carbon number 3, OH is on the left side, and in this case, OH is on the right side. Carbon number 4, OH on right side, OH on left side. Carbon number 5, OH again on right side, OH on left side. That means these two images are exact mirror images of each other. Look at them carefully. They both are mirror images of each other. Every chiral carbon, see, in glucose there are 4 chiral carbons. These are the 4 chiral carbons. In this type of isomerism, every chiral carbon exhibit opposite type of configuration of H and OH. So these are mirror images of each other. And in the first case, look at this carefully. We have already discussed about this example. The difference lies only in the 4th carbon. That is, the OH in this case is on the left side, and in this case on the right side. Every other carbon is same with same configuration. Difference lies only in the only on the 4th position. So these images are not mirror images. These are not mirror images, but the second one, that is these one, are mirror images. So stereoisomers are basically of two types. If the compounds exhibit mirror images, then these are called as enantiomers. These are called as enantiomers. Remember, enantiomers will always exhibit mirror images, and in case they are not mirror images of each other and there is difference lies only on a single carbon, then they are called as diastereomers. Now that's it in this video. In the next video we are going to discuss in detail about enantiomers, diastereomers, epimers, mutarotations, optical isomerism. So stay connected with us for more such interesting videos. Thank you.